Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to a New Year's Eve edition, which happens to fall on a Tuesday.
Alex,
Yeah.
it's not just any Tuesday.
What's
It's
the
last
difference?
Tuesday of the year.
It
And
is.
it's the last Sour Graps post show of the year,
Oh
Alex.
my gosh, it so is.
Oh my goodness. What a time. What a time to get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. Subscribe to Fightful Select, subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave a thumbs up, sponsor the Fightful Awards, give me a hug, do my laundry. There's lots of things we ask of you guys, but the most important one is that you hang out with us tonight. Thank you so much. We do want to say though that if you are a Fightful Select member, you can lock in annually. So if there's a price hike coming up in 2026, you will be spared it. We will skip that on your account if you subscribe annually now. So only reminding you because we're coming down the home stretch of the year and the month. So feel free to do that if that is something that behooves you financially. We do have the Fightful Awards coming up, as I've been so touched and honored by people spending their hard-earned money on sponsoring these awards, but they're also just a lot of fun to participate in. So you can get your votes in at FightfulSelect.com as well. But Alex, we're not the only ones doing end-of-year awards.
No NXT
Why
is.
NXT awarded themselves stuff, and I feel so ill-prepared because this is the second year they've done it, I think. Second year? Third year? Eighth year? I don't know.
I don't know. They've done it in a while. So
Next time they do this, I'm gonna do Sour Graps end of year awards for us, like not to do with the NXT show,
nice.
like best bit of the year, best impression, things like
That's
that.
good. Yeah, this is the thing that my family tries and fails to do each year, is we try and fail. Oh Lord, how we fail at writing down memories as they happen throughout the year and putting them in a jar, and then on New Year's Eve we pull them all out and remember what we did. And every time we do it, we pull out something. We go, okay, what's the most recent memory you put in here? August 28th. We really have to do better about being consistent with this bit. But
Did
every
you
time
put your trip to the castle in there? That's a highlight of my year, not even yours. I don't care.
No, I don't think anybody wrote that down.
I'm writing it down right now. I just
Okay,
put it in the jar.
Okay, thank you. Like every time I randomly will go back and listen to an old episode of ours, a bit that has been going for 3 years started on a random Tuesday, just out of the blue for no reason. Like, do you know when people decided we should get puppets?
I honestly don't.
It was not the Tuesday that Mariah May showed up, but it was the first Tuesday after that. And so it was like that back in, like, that was May. And people were like, wouldn't it be funny if you guys had puppets? We're like, oh my God, puppets. Yes.
When did we barter them for Freddy Got Fingered?
It was like, I think I had to know what the whole, I think it was like 3 weeks later, because Sean apparently had been getting bombarded with give them puppets stuff and did not know why that was happening. And when he asked us, we go, we don't know either. It just started randomly. And yes, we want puppets.
I love you guys so much.
I believe it was Orion Ben who started the puppet thing.
I think it was, yeah. I will say too, like, that's an impressive turnaround time. I think we secured the puppets faster than they got made. Even that was nuts. That's pretty good.
I don't know if this will count as the pun topic, but it's an additional thing you can send in via Super and Humper Chat. Random SBS memories from this year. Please send them in.
Yeah, that'll be very heartwarming, honestly. And but I think New Year's puns proper, right? Like,
yeah, New Year's puns would be the best way to go.
Techno Team 20.
We'll be doing that again next week, because next week is also New Year's Eve. Listen, next week is the 6th of January, the high holiest of days. However, it is not nearly as bad as a few years ago, where New Year's Evil was on January 10th. Like, they had already gone past January 3rd and said, no, that is not belated enough for us to do a New Year's themed episode. We must wait yet another week to do a belated New Year's themed episode. So at least this one, they haven't actually hit that yet. So
that is true. But Alex, you're talking about it like it's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day when it's in fact New Year's Evil. And evil shows up whenever it wants.
I guess that's true. Also send birthday puns and puns that belong that rhyme with Tim, because it's Tim's birthday tomorrow. So
SGS Fantasy Football League winner?
Yes.
Tim McFowell, I believe. Tim wants special treatment. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have earned it. Alex, any favorite SGS memories you have this year?
From this year?
Sure.
My goodness.
I bet it wasn't when I left Monday nights.
No, that was the word. That was the darkest timeline of this particular year. Not only because it was just a man and his puppet like crashing out in real time, and I had some rough mental health nights on Mondays with just me and the puppet. I know your lung health, your pulmonary health was not great, but my mental health was worse.
Also not great, huh?
Yeah.
It was just a man and his puppet crashing out.
So I think that one of the SGS memories this year was that I was like, hey, everybody sent Kate some robots that fight. My birthday is coming up. Would anybody like to send me something? It'll be a fun bit. I'll open the 3 gifts I get on the camera. And people sent me literally a whole guest room bed full of gifts. That was insane. Then people sent me like, for example. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it to work. Alpha Bill sent me this all the way from Australia. Okay, hold on. Wait. It's supposed to ring. Hello? HBK? Well, I didn't even know you had my number. You're calling to apologize for all of the booking you've done that has spiked my blood pressure over the years? What a nice thing to do. Happy New Year to you too, Mr. Hickenbottom.
I mean, that is like a prank call situation, so that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Not the worst booker of the year in WWE, though, I fear.
No. This was an award show masquerading as an actual episode of television with a very important match as the main event. And we'll get to it, but man, I don't know what's going on. 2026 is a really hard year to predict in NXT, especially. Depending on, because they've done the soft call-up thing where people are like, Carmelo Hayes was in a U.S. title tournament in December and had a match on the Stand and Deliver card. Like, that was 2 years ago. So, like, they've done weird soft call-ups before. And so I don't know if these Obafemi vignettes are like imminent. Like, is he losing the title next week, or is he just gonna show up sometime mid-May and they've been like preparing the main roster audience for him the whole time? I don't know.
What's tricky is whether you liked Black and Gold or not. We did. There was a cadence and a rhythm to call-ups that worked pretty well.
Yeah.
So you kind of knew what the game plan was. It feels like they don't know what the game plan is with a lot of guys. That's the part I don't like. If it was just us not knowing, that would be fine. But like, it definitely feels like there's times where HBK's been setting up for something booking wise, and then it's like, no, we're just gonna yank these guys for this. The other tricky part is you have a TV show on the CW that you have to keep alive, and you have people that need to get called up. So what's kind of interesting is like you have these people that you need there as strongholds. I think certainly Ethan Page falls into that category. And I think they're showing that right now Ricky Saints is also in that category. But then you have people with way less wrestling experience and time, like a Javon Evans and an Obafemi and a Sol Ruka, like maybe passing them by to get to the main roster. So I don't know, like I think that Ethan Page probably could have been on the main roster from the second he walked in there. So I don't think there's like harm to it.
Probably.
But I don't want to say like there's an impatience on the side of the talent, but there's an impatience on the side of me. Cuz I'm ready to see those guys fly, and they're not 24. Like those guys are in their mid to late 30s, right?
No. Those guys, the guys that it seems that we are keeping in NXT for a longer term are in some cases 15 years older than the guys we're letting their wings spread. You know what I mean? And it's odd because I feel perhaps like Ted hypocritical by saying why are we having all of these old guys at the top? Like nobody who's in their 20s has ever won a title. You know what I mean? Like so what are we doing? And yet I also go, I mean, Javon Evans could stick around in NXT for a little while longer if he's going to win the world title in April. Like he could absolutely do that and then lose the world title in, let's say, I don't know, August, and then move up. Like the moment I'm also hypocritical, say don't book for moments, and yet book for the moment of Javon Evans defeating Obafemi, who he has never defeated before, in the main event of the biggest NXT PLE of the year. I do think that is a moment worth waiting for. So everything is contextual to me. What is the context of the argument of let's make the young guys instead of the future, they're the now is the new thing that people say. All of them are saying it. Braun Breaker's saying it.
Sports Illustrated is saying it.
Sports Illustrated is saying it. Javon Evans is saying it. Even the Bleacher Report is saying it. Everyone is saying it.
Brian Alvarez has been saying it for a while.
Yeah, but like, and that is the truth, except for when like there's something that is imminent on the level they're on that is a major career milestone.
Sure.
And they skip over that to go to the main roster where, if history tells us anything, they will be shelved and forgotten about for 6 months, maybe longer, before they ever actually get their due. I'm looking at you, Carmelo Hayes, who's finally gotten his due, but Jesus, it took him long enough, didn't it?
Well, it took him long enough, and it was a flip of the switch, right? Both of those things are true, which is like in my opinion, not a great combination. So here's what I like. It's the last one of these of the year. So looking at the landscape overall, the booking from week to week is very, very weird and oftentimes not very good, in the opinion of Alex and I. But what I can say is, as the job of developmental, they've gotten much better at isolating key talent. And I would also say they've done a good job turning around what NIL talent are doing, especially on the women's side. From what the NIL program was, because they were not next in line, Alex. It felt like yawning through a lot of this, but they've done a really good job of pivoting that around. Here's my, I hate saying concerns because it's wrestling and I don't work there. So I'm not like concerned. I'm not staying up all night worrying about this, but like cautionary tales, right? I think there's a happy medium between 15 years from now for Javon Evans and right now. So Mark Henry and I disagree. But I think like a year is a perfectly fair thing, or 8 to 10 months. I also would say like call-ups of young talent are great. I kept comparing like Javon Evans to Cam Schlittler for the Yankees, where it was like this, like young kids can come out of nowhere and be really successful. That happens in actual sports all the time. We should do that in wrestling. But call-ups without intentionality are something that have plagued this product to the point where like I always bring up Grayson Waller because Carmelo Hayes is the most obvious textbook case. But when I look at Grayson Waller fighting Cody Rhodes, fighting Edge, and now like palling around with the New Day in an angle that I don't feel like is working, which is kind of funny because I feel like they actually are on the same page as long as what they're supposed to do. I just always feel like when they try to make someone join someone like the New Day, that's like such an established faction that kicked a guy out. Like it's a very, very hard thing to stick the landing on an angle like that. But he's someone that I'm like, this guy is really good in the ring despite his dumb finishing move. He's what they want in like a WWE superstar, and he's had hell all to do. And even a word naughtier than hello to do for the entire time he's been on the roster. Now, it's an entirely different story on the women. Like, other than Roxanne Perez having the most losses, she's also had a shit ton of matches, which is a good thing. I just wish they didn't end in losses. But the call-ups outside of Julia on the women's side have been much, much, much cleaner and better. So, I want call-ups with intentionality, and I think there's a middle ground between this week and 15 years from now for some of these younger talent. But those go hand in hand. If you call up Javon Evans with a plan, that's great. If you call up Obafemi, who more than anybody needs a plan because he should be extremely calculated in the losses he takes. Then I'm on board with some of that. But I don't want to see the Ethan Pages of the world not go to the main roster. I understand why they're around because that guy has worked with everybody and they've already looked good. So invaluable to an ecosystem that has a lot of young talent for sure. But we do have some greetings, supers and humpers. I'll kick it off with my dad.
We do.
Who says, congratulations on a cantankerous 2025 and best wishes to a super sour 2026. Mrs. Elizabeth and I will be ringing in the new year tomorrow night with the extended family, including our first son, J.W. Pringle. Well, I didn't even know J.W. Pringle was going to be at my house. I should probably stop by. J.W. Pringle says, just a shout out to the SGS, Kate and Alex for the many times over this year and past years they have made us feel seen in bad personal times and laugh at this mostly horrible show. Thank you all so much. I have had we'll say rocky 2025, if we want to be generous to 2025, which I don't feel like being generous to this year. It was mostly stupid. But it goes right back at you guys. Like, this is a place where I can put everything down and just have so much fun and be smarter and better for the analysis that I hear from Alex and people coming up with ideas in the chat and stuff, and just laugh my ass off in a lot of ways as well. So whenever we get one of those chats, I'm always like, oh, I just want to make sure you guys know too how important this is for me, because it's really important.
Yes. It's somehow watching NXT is a thing I look forward to, because after that I get to do this. So that's it. That's all I'll say. Orion Ben says, waiting to Alex and Kate's New Year's Sour Eve.
Our rockin' Sour Eve.
New Year's rockin' Sour Eve. Greg Sherry says, thank God for the new year. Not a pun, just how I feel. And then I want to make sure we get to this quickly, because he also sent in this one. Very nice, very generous. Says 2025 was so rough. I cut a promo on the entire year on my Twitter. Thankful for Alex, Kate, and all the SGS for making this year better. Love all yins. Here's to much sourness to make us smile in 2026. Gonna go drown my sorrows in sparkling grape juice.
There's worse things to drown your sorrows in, by the way. So congratulations on sparkling grape juice being your vice, because that's obviously the vice around here. If you see our logo. But Greg, because you've shared with me some of the things you've gone through, and I've had, like, this year wasn't great for me, but I've had some really rough ones. And when there's years when you feel like you have nothing, the only thing that you're left with is a blank slate to build whatever you want on. And that's tremendously scary, but also extremely freeing in a lot of ways. So just know that when you feel like what you're left with is completely blank, that means it's your canvas to build back however you want to. Not to say that that's easy, but it is. It is the truth if you want to look at it in the most obnoxious, sunshiny way. That's what you got.
Yeah. Fall says, thank you to this SGS for another year of fun, love, and puppets. My favorite SGS memories are how Kate and Alex and this community lift each other up during our hardest times. Most of us don't actually watch NXT. We're here for each other.
Fun, love, and puppets. I'm so thankful that our community does that, even without our help. Like,
yeah, they do.
There was a fantasy football league this year. That's just like the coolest thing in the world to me. I love it so much.
Right. Meet Enormous says my favorite shenanigans were Zillow Nightingale, New Orleans Times Pick a Yuta, and shaving a QT code into Pharaoh Roads. Hard Times Squared Inner Circle. That was actually, I believe that was last year. That was 2024, but who cares? It's such a great bit. Well, it's never going to go away.
No, it's delightful.
Scan the QR code if you want to find your daughter.
That was the thing we did when we fantasy booked the Wyatt Six feuding with Cody Rhodes, and that was how they were going to do it.
Was Jesse Ventura accidentally joining this year? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I don't think that was a thing we did. It might have been,
when your camera stopped working.
Perhaps. I'm going to make it the Wyatt 7, McMahon.
Jesse, there's so much to get you up on if you're
What's going on?
Read a book, Jesse.
All right. Hold on. I think I got one that's over on the stove. Okay.
Oh,
okay. We are exclusively bits, and now I'm a prop comic. So
yes.
It's fine.
I would never be caught dead using props. No way. Not me. No how. Not her.
So I guess we'll talk about the show. Moose lost to Ethan Page. He at one point he tried to spear Ethan Page on the outside and ended up doing the my shoulder hurts. That he bonked his shoulder into the steps and goes, now I have a shoulder that's been bonked. And so he couldn't use his left arm for the rest of the show.
Verbatim, he said that, actually.
He said, my shoulder has been bonked. And he couldn't use that shoulder for the rest of the match. But he was able to, fight back against the dastardly Ethan Page long enough to spear Ethan Page and then lovingly place Ethan Page's foot on the bottom rope himself. Like, I've seen the guy hook the near leg and then pull up so much that the guy's far leg lands on the bottom rope. He hooked the far leg and then gently, like a lover, placed the foot on the bottom rope and then was very surprised when the referee was like, there's a foot on the rope. It was very odd, but I'm sure it's all defensible in the ring psychology of the maneuver.
Of course.
But one thing that isn't ring psychology, it's more like ring what is it? Osteopathy? What the study of your bones? Is that what it is? He took a back body drop on the outside onto the ring steps and landed directly on the edge of them on his spine. And ouch. The ring psychology of that move is ouch.
Yeah, he landed right on the Adam Copeland, just right on the edge with his spine.
Right on the edge of that.
He was like, on this day.
I don't know how he's gonna cope.
I nailed it. We're so funny. No, they beat the hell out of each other for this match, which
they did.
I was glad about because I'm still not totally sure why it happened, other than that Moose is from TNA and he wanted to bring a title back over there.
Bring a title back there, because Stax stole one of theirs, so he thought he would get the North American one.
Normally I'd be like, can we just do like a little more of a story than that? But truly, like, Ethan Page's reign has had a lot of stories, and this was this was a New Year's Eve episode, so that's fine. But I appreciate how hard they hit each other because it made me feel like they were actually fighting. Like, I complained about that a lot, and I appreciate that they both beat the hell out of each other because it wasn't the strongest case for a match going into it. So the fact that they brought it when the match was happening, I appreciated very much. I just kind of wish, because Ethan Page was in TNA for so long, like they could have played off of that a little bit more. But this match was like a perfectly fine way to open the show, and another successful defense for Ethan Page, and he's done a really good job with this title. Like, it's not a Wes Lee reign, but it's an extremely valuable one. Like, it's not one where you're like, holy crap, these matches like every single time out there, but he's always doing really, really good work, and they always seem pretty productive for the most part. So this was fine. This was perfectly good. I was surprised how hard they went for for an opener on a tape show.
Yeah.
So there's just not a ton to say because
JW Pringle says that the bonked shoulder is the number one cause of WrestlePlace injuries.
He took like a nasty Happy New Spear. Ethan Page did.
He did. The Bad Robot is here. We haven't seen Bad Robot in a while. Says, hello, wait, where am I? Where I am. Popping in to show love to Fightful, the community, and especially Kate for being there during the toughest and best times of this year. P.S. I am finally buying an actual Roomba.
You can probably get one pretty cheap because I heard they like filed for bankruptcy. So they're probably practically giving the things away.
Really?
So
oh my goodness.
Picked a good time.
Yeah.
I think we all
realize that those things don't really clean anything, or
I feel like there was this article that came out the other day that was like, I think people maybe overestimated like everyday robotics aren't maybe what they cracked up to be. Like, we all had this Rosie from the Jetsons idea in our head, and it's mostly been an ineffective vacuum.
if the Roomba actually cleaned the floors, the one that we bought did not. It mostly just moved the dirt around. So, and was useless on the carpet. Like, it moved the dirt around on the hardwood floor and then was useless on the carpet. So we just stopped using it.
That's the thing.
Gave it to my sister-in-law, but
hold on to your receipt is all we're saying, Bad Robot. But thank you so much for popping in. We love it when you're here.
We started out with our first category for the male superstar of the year, and it was unclear to me how this was determined. How people were nominated. Were they nominated by WWE and then voted on by the fans, but only on a website that only the people who go to NXT shows know about? Because the fans voted on it, but I didn't see anything online about, hey, vote for the NXT End of the Year Awards. I think you had to go to like www.com/NXT/year-end awards.
They just didn't want you to know the web address because you would have been stuffing the ballot box for Opafemi.
I would have been, because he should have won and Javon Evans won instead. That's highway robbery. I like that. That is crazy levels of robbery. Obafemi started the year as the world champion and ended the year as the world champion. He took one loss along the way to Ricky Saints, who he then came back from a 2-month break, having put all of the muscle on top of his already giant muscly frame, and then beat Ricky Saints. And then he beat the dude who won the Male of the Year as the last thing that he did before. That's like, leave it to the NXT fans to vote for a dude who's 0-12 in title matches to be the superstar of the year. I love Javon Evans. His year wasn't better than Obafemi's year.
Alex, I think they don't think in terms of that because they are rubes, as you say.
Yeah,
no, my if I'm voting, Alex paid me to, so I'm voting for Obafemi. No, I'm just kidding. I would also vote for Obafemi because I feel like with Javon Evans, I was like, there's all this hype around him, and I knew he was going to be as great as he was. Oba, we've watched like grow up in front of us, so I just have like a different type of attachment because Javon, you watched come in and you were like, that guy's a freak athlete and he's gonna do real well here. Oba, we were like, saw him grow into the legend that he is. Javon's a perfectly suitable choice here.
Sure, except for the fact that Obafemi exists,
right?
You know, that's Ricky Saints was also nominated, and Trick Williams and Ethan Page, and none of those guys can hold a candle to. I would actually vote for Ethan Page over Javon Evans simply because of all the time that Ethan Page spent as a champion and also a double champion. I don't know why, but I value time spent as a champion as the tiebreaker on awards like these. So
that's fair. I will say Javon's acceptance speech. Every time I hear this kid talk, I'm just like,
he's adorable.
He's so lovable. Like I just want to hug him. Like he's just like comes across as the most like sweet magnetic dude. And I think they actually did a good job like recapping the year that he's had, which I think was cool. Their measure seems to be like, were you on the Big John Cena show? No, because that would still narrow it down to him and Obafemi.
They're the only measure in which Javon Evans excels over Obafemi is bounciness.
I mean, that's
like, is that your criteria? How bouncy is the? You know what I mean? How bouncy is the nominee?
I think
then he would win.
We need to change some awards in the Fightful Awards. I'm on bounciness as a measure.
Oh my goodness. It was a very fun little acceptance speech. Okay.
This was also done much better than last year. Like it was much quicker and just like in and out of the episode, which was nice. It was not like dramatic.
So what did we say last week about the kidnapping subplot surrounding the culling? Nico Vance is going to just show up next week like nothing happened. And he did. It's the most LOL NXT like hashtag thing you could possibly do, is a victim of a kidnapping showing up the following week and he's fine. Like nothing. Doesn't he have like a bandage on his head, or he's not really traumatized, or he's just like, this is also the thing. Like Sean Spears is there. He got chased out of the arena with a chainsaw. Not a chainsaw. That's a very specific type of coleslaw you don't want to bring to the company picnic. Because
I didn't even know coleslaw chain wrestled. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he got chased out of the building with a chainsaw, and he's back there with Nico, who we don't know if a chainsaw was involved in what happened to him. We just know he just disappeared and nobody could find him for 2 full weeks. But now he's back and he's fine, which is not how kidnappings work. Anyway, Izzy's like, Tatum, she doesn't know it. And then Sean's like, no. Sean's like, no, Izzy, you don't understand what Nico and I have seen. She's not what Nico and I have seen. She's not the same Tatum. What did you guys see? Did you see a chainsaw and that was the only thing you saw? What did Nico see? Did he see a hedge trimmer? What did Nico see that made him so scared? I don't know. We never got that. There has not been a full report. I need to be debriefed on the whole Nico got kidnapped situation because Izzy has to go out. Nico has to go out. Sorry, Izzy has to go out and cut a promo. And Sean Spears and Nico Vance are too scared to go out to the ring with her while she cuts a promo. Not while she has a confrontation with Tatum, because that was not promised. I'm just going to go and cut a promo. And they're like, we can't go with you because we are too scared of the garden shears. What is the implement that Nico Vance was threatened with? Is just a thing I need to know. Weed whacker. Did she use a weed whacker on Nico Vance?
Here's what I need it to be. Nico Vance escaped unharmed, but she tied him up in a house full of dolls that got decapitated by her chainsaw.
Okay. Oh, sure.
And she cut them off in front of her head. In front of his head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very upset the chainsaw just disappeared. Because if you've got one, if you
just,
got it, flaunt it.
That's a great way to put it, for sure.
I've always said that. If you've got a chainsaw, flaunt a chainsaw.
Flaunt your chainsaw.
As the old saying goes.
Izzy cut her. Well, no, before we get to that, Kendall Gray has been attacked. Surely she has been damaged because she was beaten up by 3 women. She's been hurt so badly, she can't possibly reappear on this episode of NXT. That's for sure. And perhaps she's been so badly damaged in this attack that she will not be able to compete next week on New Year's Evil.
Kate has quit the show. She can no longer handle backstage attack angles. I will represent her at this time. I will be taking no further questions. But if she were here, she would say, freshen up the playbook! Enough is enough! Do something different! I have to go because I'm scaring the dog. I was well represented, Alex. Because yesterday, when we covered Raw on the main, which is so funny that Sean let us do that. Like, what a silly goose that guy is.
Should not have done that.
CM Punk and Braun Breaker had a face-to-face in the ring, and I said, it would sure be nice if people set up feuds in interesting ways. And I did say that's a consistency across American television. I feel like AEW suffers from that too. Like setting things up in unique ways. Like, for example, when Eddie Kingston called Chris Jericho on a phone ringside, or when Eddie Kingston interrupted CM Punk giving an interview. Most of these cool things involve Eddie Kingston, so no one's surprised that I like them. But like, I wonder what would happen if you told NXT Creative, I'm taking these 3 things away from you. And we'll pick the 3. I'm going to say backstage attacks, the formula that they always use for multi-man and multi-women matches, which includes pinning champions. And I'll give you the 3rd. It's one trope that we see way too often in NXT.
Ludicrous ref bumps. I don't know why that came to mind.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
I don't know why that sprang directly into my frontal cortex. There must have been something that happened tonight, but I can't put my finger on it.
That also happened at the pay-per-view for AEW this weekend. Oh my God. Yeah, like if you just took those 3 devices away from NXT Creative and said, you have to think of something more clever than this, what would happen, right? People are saying Booker T on commentary. That's not like a. That's not what I mean. That's not a creative device.
Part of the creative team.
That's not
At
just
least
stuff we want to stop. Yeah.
At least I hope it's not.
But that sincerely, like, it would make things feel so fresh if they just eliminated those three things. And those are just the top three off the top of my head. I could say that about every wrestling company. I could say that with New Japan. I could say with AEW. I wouldn't know what to say with TNA because I don't watch it very closely. Probably bad crossover promotion and killing people off or something. I don't know. But the backstage attack stuff has gotten. It's not like ha 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 parking lot attack. Now I'm like, oh brother, because it's just it's just a crutch that they go back to way too often. And yes, Kendall Gray surviving an attack, or spoiler, she gets attacked by 3 women. Also, Booker T immediately victim shames her. By the way, he's like, she should have been tough enough to ward off 3 women attacking her. I was like, what?
His pro Jacy Jayneisms are only surpassed by somehow now his pro Joe Hendryisms. I don't understand, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Izzy Dame cuts her promo. I never should have tried to help you out. One thing goes wrong, you go back to playing with your dolls. I tried to be the good guy. You think that going after Sean and Nico is going to fix your problems? No, it's not. Your problems are that you don't know how bad you are or whatever. But here comes Tatum. I learned so much from you. I'm listening to you. I just wanted to know that I cared. I felt everything you were going through. I saw everything, and I have to say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're such a bitch, or whatever she said. But it was a trope they should get rid of. I want you to know that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you suck so much, or whatever it is. Like, I don't like that one.
Promos. That one, the like empathy swerve thing. Mm-hmm. You're old and I'm young, and still you people promos. Do we still want to keep those off the table? I'll say that.
Sure. Yeah.
That feels like a good 3 that I would just like to.
The return from injury, but I'm still a heel promo that says none of the fans sent me enough get well cards when I was in the hospital.
Or this person didn't text me. Same umbrella. Same umbrella.
Same idea, yeah. Tatum, I like you gotta say I'm the weak one. I have to take a look in the mirror, but you're too scared to do that yourself. I realized I don't need friends like you. I need friends who've been there from the start, like the NXT universe. She says, he says, so you lost the title because you didn't listen to me. Now you're all Delulu. What are you going to do about it? And then Tatum says, when I'm dead and buried in the ground and the worms start to eat my brain, they will feed on the memories of what I did to you at New Year's Evil. Okay.
It ruled. That was the best thing ever.
No, like, I think you need the rest of the sentence needs to be constructed. When I'm dead and buried, the worms will feed on my brain, but when they get to the memories of what I do to you at New Year's Evil, they will be too scared and they will run away. Something like the worms will feed on the memories of what I did to you at New Year's Evil. Yeah, but they're also going to feed on the memories of you that one time you lost your keys, or like they're going to feed on the memories that time that your grandpa took you to Disney World. Like, they're going to feed on a lot of memories. I don't know what's the difference between this memory and all the other memories.
Because this was cooler imagery than that, Alex.
All right. Do the worms that eat your brain only remember? Do they only eat the violent memories?
That's where they start.
They pick
just,
that
like,
out for,
snack.
like when they go to the Chinese buffet. They always go they go up once to get a look around. They pick like an egg roll and a couple of dumplings. Then they go back to their seat and they talk to everybody else what they're going to do next.
Yes.
And those are like the memory of the time that you got an F on the test, but you changed it to an A, and your parents didn't find out for like 6 weeks, and you thought it was weird. That's that memory. The memories of the horrible violence you did to somebody during a wrestling match. That's when they went to the hibachi station. That's like the really good memories at the buffet. That's what that is for the worms, I think.
Well, let's also think in terms of Tatum Paxley. Like, do you think she's got a whole bunch of warm, fuzzy memories going on in her brain? I think she's got some weird stuff going on in there.
Everybody had something that was nice, and then they also have things that are bad. Depends on what you know.
Tater's great. A couple of things with Izzy. One, the crowd needs to shut up. I want to hear Izzy Dame actually get to cut a promo without like generic boos humming through the background constantly. It's annoying.
Well, the taped episodes are really bad for this because they sweeten both cheers and boos during these promos, and you can watch in the background. There aren't people cheering when you hear sounds of people cheering, and there really aren't people booing when you hear sounds of people booing. You just see people doing this.
So
and their mouths aren't moving. Yeah? So unless they're better ventriloquists than Harley Cameron, I don't think they're booing or cheering.
Okay,
their mouths aren't moving.
It felt like it was piped in generic noise, but they need to do a better job with that because, like, it was. I just want to hear. This happened last time with Izzy too. Like, I just want to hear her get to cut an honest to God, not distracted promo. But there was like one line that I was like, why did you write that in? Because she says, if you had just listened to me, you'd still be champion. And I was like, you're the one that cost her the title, though.
Yeah.
Like, I guess she was saying for the setup to the match. But I'm like, listen to you. You were trying to either be the one to take the title from her, and then you weirdly interfered so that you didn't have that shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just wish they hadn't written that in there because my immediate reaction was like, you're the one who cost her. It's like, that's just not true. Tatum, lover. If you have a chainsaw, why would you show up without a chainsaw?
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't get it. There were no consequences for you bringing a chainsaw. I would bring a bigger chainsaw this week.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Why didn't you get a bigger chainsaw for Christmas? What was on your Christmas list? I have questions.
Yeah. Izzy's like, yeah, okay, you can have a match with me New Year's Eve. I'm gonna beat you again. Fine. She should have said something. Oh yeah, will the worms eat the memories of how I beat you 2 times in a row? Or the worms dine on that, Tatum? And then she starts to leave and she goes, you're not in control anymore, Izzy. And then Izzy tries to attack her from behind, but Tatum does a Matrix backbend thing and then hits her with the cemetery drive. So
while her shoe exploded, she still hits his move. What a beast.
A beast indeed. Wrestling math, though, tells us that Tatum's going to lose again next week.
Yeah.
And that will put her, that at least at this point, though, she has finished the year of 2025 with 1 victory.
I also do wonder if we go to a non-finish so we get 3.
I mean, that's also possible, but why? Tatum has finished the year 2025 with 1 victory. 1.
Her title.
The title victory. Well, 1 singles victory. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not counting rumbles and whatever.
Well, she and Izzy won some tag matches, but like
she was a singles champion, so I'm counting singles wins. Yes, like I'm with you.
It is very funny to me then what she was nominated for later. The award now for tonight, what we're talking about now is the tag team of the year, or also the faction of the year. They call it the tag team of the year, but there were so few actual impactful tag teams. They just threw in multi-person factions and also like intergender. There's one intergender faction.
Yeah.
Hank and Tank was nominated. And the culling, including Izzy Dame, because they were showing highlights of each act, and they were showing Izzy Dame hitting big boots on people. So she's part of the culling that they nominate. They're not nominating Sean Spears and Nico Vance, which would be silly, but they're inviting. So it's more like faction of the year, because you don't do tag team wrestling. Hank and Tank was nominated. Fatal Influence was nominated, but not like a tag team within that, because Jasmine Nix was part of Fatal Influence for most of the year. And
Yes.
Laney's only been around for a while, and when they wrestle as a tag team, it's never consistent. Who's wrestling? Is it Jacy and Fallon? Is it Fallon and Jasmine? Is it Fallon and Laney now? That's not a tag team either. That's also a faction. And then Dork State, who wrestled mostly in 6 and 8-man tags. But the winner is Solruka and Zarya, who, I cannot stress this enough, should have been broken up 6 months ago. But they're not. They said in their acceptance speech, we went through some ups and downs, but you always stuck by us. I'm like, well, the booking decided you guys hated each other and then decided that you didn't anymore. That's what that was.
Yeah, there's just too much of that bug going around too. Like of dissension that doesn't get paid off is a big issue in WWE programming right now. I mean, I just wish they had just made it tag team more stable of the year. That's all. that flattens out literally every issue, but it is to me illuminating how much they don't have tag teams that are viable for such things. Yeah. And it is also partly, I think, a product of the TNA crossover, right? Like that's they had so much interpromotional tag stuff or whatever. So
right, that's true. They did a lot of that. Fatal Influence is here, like, oh well, now Wren's gonna have to face me all by herself. I'm really glad they're not trying to make it out like who attacked Kendall. I'm glad that they just
they were like, we know.
Let's dispense with that pretense.
Doesn't anybody just carry Mace? I would just carry Mace with me at all times if I was backstage.
Yeah. Wren. Sinclair.
Of the Wren QCC. Yeah.
This is probably her best match.
Yes.
And I honestly, if they're doing what I honestly think they might be doing, and actually have Kendall Gray win this damn thing next week.
I was wondering this too. I'm glad this is where your head's at.
If they do that, I really hope that they are intentionally doing what it looks like they're intentionally doing, which is that Jacy couldn't leave well enough alone and attacked Kendall, hoping to put her out or at least hurt her to weaken her for their match next week. And then make sure they could beat up Wren 3-on-1, which pissed off Wren so much that Wren fought in this match versus Jacy Jayne because the title wasn't on the line. She fought just to get revenge for them beating up her best friend and wrestled like we haven't seen Wren Sinclair wrestle. Like she was targeting a body part in ways that like Charlie Dempsey must have taught her months ago in training sessions. Like she did like the Penta bend the arm back thing, but instead of like knees in the small of the back, it was like, I'm going to put my feet on either side of your shoulder, lean back and yank it back out of the socket. And Jacy
so nasty looking
was hurting that arm the entire time. And so after Jacy eventually beat Wren, with Wren kicking out of way more than I thought she was going to be able to, she finally wins, and then the 3-1 beatdown on Wren commences. But here comes Kendall Gray. You didn't finish the job. Kendall Gray easily takes out Fallon and Laney and then puts Jacy in a cross arm breaker, further injuring that arm. So if they do the right thing here, which they never do, and they have, when Kendall wins next week, they have Kendall win because of the hurt arm from that Jacy came into the match with, because she decided to try and take out Kendall, which led to Wren getting pissed, which led to Wren injuring her, which led to Kendall further injuring her tonight, and now she can't fight with that arm. That's a really cool wrinkle in the story of why Jayne loses her title, because she can't just leave well enough alone. She has to try and take every advantage possible, maybe because she doesn't really believe in herself as much as she professes that she does. That's a cool arc and a character and a reason for the downfall of a villain in good storytelling, which is why I think they'll just have Jacy come into the match 100% next week and she'll win in about 12 minutes.
I think I hope that Kendall wins for a few reasons. One, the table is set for it.
Uh-huh.
Two, I think NXT's actually gotten much better at, okay, we know this person is going to be great. Let's, as much as they don't fast track people on the main roster, they're like, okay, Obafemi is special. Let's give him everything. Like Javon Evans, let's not give him a title, but let's put him on TV constantly and give him a ton of breathing room on television, right? Like, and good feuds with Ethan Page and like all these things. So I feel like they know what they have in Kendall Gray. But the reason I really want this is not only is that a great character arc for Jacy, I feel like it's a good story for her as a wrestler and performer to tell ring-wise. Like, I think that match really works because I think Jacy's great at selling. And it's also like, it doesn't seem like there was like a fatal influence push to break up and then they pulled off it. This is like a fun way if they want to do a post-match beatdown for them to just like turn super, super hard on Jacy and just keep attacking that arm that already gave out. Like that makes Laney and Fallon look really, really vicious if that's something you want to do. So I really like that.
I think this faction needs to be together if they're going to get a call up.
Like, but I mean, if we're talking about call ups, like
I'm just saying, but I am saying, like, Laney's still young, but you can tell she's got every tool in the book. So if you were to bring her up now as part of the faction, I think she would absolutely be able to swim as part of that deal. Especially if you made these three, I don't know, the backup to a newly, hopefully returning heel Charlotte. Like if Charlotte and Alexa Bliss feud and they're like, well, now I don't need you anymore because I've got fatal influence and they're going to be my backup.
That's a fun angle, actually. I like that.
But anyway, I think that Lady could easily work. What I'm saying is that Jacy and Fallon have done everything they could ever do in NXT. If you're ever going to call them up, you could do it now, especially if you're going to take the title off of Jacy. You could have Fallon lose the speed title, whenever. So, like, you could easily do that. So, if they do that, I think that they all work really well together as a faction. And I don't know what they would be on the main roster, any of them. Let's say if they broke them up, Fallon by herself or Jacy by herself. I just don't know what that is on the main roster because, like, only Michin is allowed to have title opportunities on SmackDown. And they had to put Julia with Kiana James. Like, I don't know. So,
would you put money on Jayne winning?
What are the odds, Kate? Where can I find? Are there any kind of betting odds presented online in a place where I could see them and then help me decide who I should bet on?
Alex, I'm so glad you asked because right now I'm going to have Sean Ross Sapp tell you not just about that, but just like how credible this place is that lists out these odds for you.
At MyBookie AG, they say that you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. And they mean it. NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, UFC, pro wrestling. But that's not it. Motorsports, golf, tennis, darts, cycling, cricket, handball, floorball, rugby, snooker, volleyball, table tennis, cycling. Yeah, you can bet on it at MyBookie AG. They got the best support system in the business. We only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. But go take advantage of being able to bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. They got live esports. They got racing. They got everything at MyBookie AG. And right now, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100 or a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. You can bet with Bitcoin and play their great casino games as well. MyBookie AG.
MyBookie AG. That's where you can bet on wrestling and all of the other things that Sean mentioned. But keep an eye on our socials. We post those betting odds that Alex was referring to. Yeah. Once they are available, but with taped episodes and stuff, they usually wait to release those odds, but they're available at MyBookie AG as well. So I
cannot wait to place a big bet on that next floorball match.
Oh my God. I don't know if people know this, but you're an avid floorball watcher.
I love floorball.
I mean, you won't shut up about the rules of floorball.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but I was all-state in floorball back in high school. I mean, obviously, I put on a lot of weight since then, but I was quite the floorball athlete. They called me Big Floorball. That's what they called me back in high school. So,
if it weren't for that damn injury, you could have.
I know. I did. I tweaked a metatarsal, and everybody knows if you don't have all 10 metatarsals, you can't play floorball.
Oh, it's just like when I broke my left phalange.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Just the worst. Speaking of the worst, Booker T singing Joe Hendry's theme song is a war crime. It is. Send this man to the Hague. What are we doing? Why is Booker T singing Joe Hendry's theme song?
I did low-key laugh at him warming up his voice to scales of I believe backstage before we got this segment. I feel like Booker T was like, well, I lost Trick Williams. I can't do his theme anymore because he's going to go to the main roster. I have to sink my teeth into a new musical act to rap these parts. And Joe Hendry was like, I'm here to answer the call.
Wave your hand for side sea. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Where I was like,
Joe Hendry. I'm Joe Hendry from side to sea.
There were parts where he sounded like Macho Man.
Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry.
He sounded like Macho Man at times.
He did.
And I don't need this every time from Booker, but I do wonder what Vic Joseph was thinking in like an extended taping. Like, I wonder when in the night this was taped, because Vic Joseph, this was the end of the night. He's like on his 5th cup of coffee, sitting next to Booker T, just losing his mind at the Joe Hendry theme.
Oh my God.
Man, I have been saying for a while, like, how come they don't let Joe Hendry do the thing that got him over? And then we got Jingle Balls in too low of a key for him on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got this, which was just like an end of year song. And I'm like, okay, let me be more specific. It's not just him playing the guitar that got him over. It was him writing songs that got under the skin of his opponent, i.e., Can You Please Get Fired, the AJ Francis song. So, like, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but can you please, for the love of God, let him not sing a year-end recap?
He was like, everybody, let's do a song. Everybody can feel free to clap along. I'm going to sit here and sing this song. And he said, Wow, what a great year it was. Here is a person you know from watching the show and a thing they did. If they are a baby face, I will be complimentary of them. If they are a heel, I will have 3 lines about how much they stink.
Yes.
And here's a chorus. Catch us on the CW. Just like,
At least he was smart enough to do that. Like,
I mean,
CW is like, hell yeah, give that dude a raise.
chill. So he's singing the song, and he talks about how Ethan Page is whatever. He sucks. And then he says mean things about Trick Williams.
Yes.
You know who I noticed he never mentioned either way? Obafemi.
Yeah. He was smart, though. He doesn't want
that. Was smart. That was smart. You don't want that smoke, Joe.
No.
You don't want that smoke.
Can't lift that dude up.
But it was funny. The dude who spent, 10 months out of the year as the world champion doesn't rate a mention in your end of year song is a weird guy to omit. But
he might have been getting there because he got interrupted.
But he finally said some mean things about Dork State. And the lights went out, and there was Dork State, and all 4 Dork Staters rushed the ring and beat him up. And then I hear Vic Joseph say, "But what about Tony D'Angelo? What were his intentions? What were his intentions? What would he have done had Dark State not made their presence known?" And I was like, where was Tony D'Angelo? And I went back and watched it, and like way up in the background, he's like so far away, he's blurry. Is obviously Tony D'Angelo in his now signature coat that he has now worn 4 times since he came back.
It's a signature jacket, though. Like it's a signature.
It is his signature Luke.
It is.
So I expected there to be a part of New Year's Evil. Tony D'Angelo will cut of his first promo next week mention. They have not done that. He may still yet. However, deadline was on December 6th. New Year's Evil is January 6th, the high holiest of days.
Of course.
It'll be a month. We don't know what he's doing. He has been entirely inconsistent about who he is targeting, or even, I don't know, targeting, looking at from afar. He hasn't spoken a single word. Nothing. Everyone who watches your shows weekly was really excited for the return of Tony D'Angelo, mostly because it looked like at that moment he was going to go through Javon Evans to get to Obafemi and the world title, which was a really cool story because Javon Evans had a guaranteed world title shot that Tony D'Angelo does not have. Obafemi is undefeated against Javon Evans. Tony D'Angelo has beaten Obafemi twice. That is a really cool thing, and it makes me wonder if that was the plan and they got the call.
Yep, I was wondering that too.
John Cena wants Javon Evans on his final show. If he impresses, we're pulling the trigger. He's going up. But we just put the Iron Survivor on him. I don't care. We're if you will find out in 1 week whether or not he is. And that was why they had him go, I'm cashing in my title now. And then he basically on only taped episodes goes plays out the rest of his time in NXT. If tonight is the last time he's ever seen in NXT, I wouldn't be surprised. And if the last time we ever see him in NXT is June, I wouldn't be surprised because of this weird thing where Roxanne, again, I cannot stress this enough, set the record for the longest time spent in a Royal Rumble by a woman in January and was still having regular matches on NXT in April. So, I don't know. But like, this is all so weird, and the problem I have with it is that not only does it mess with your plans for Javon Evans, but because your plan included Tony D'Angelo doing some stuff that was involved in the Javon Evans and Obafemi thing, if this is the case, what I think it to be, then they like, oh, now what do we do with our freshly returned Tony D'Angelo? I don't know. Have him vaguely insinuate himself into 6 different storylines over the next month. And that's what he's done now.
Do we think, because who else showed up and aimlessly started attacking people or like overseeing them? Dark States. Do we think they're his new mob?
That would, like, that he's a latecomer to the group, to lead the group,
that they've been aimless and that they need a leader, and he needs a mob that can help take his last mob went away. Like,
I mean, they're the tag champions. I don't know how aimless they are.
That doesn't, come on, be real.
I mean, I don't know.
I was wondering the same thing about, did I just turn Canadian? About, I'm never speaking to Joe Pearl again. I don't know why I said it that way. I was also wondering about the booking because it feels like they brought him back and then to have 2 pre-taped episodes while all this was going on feels like, let's not make any sudden movements, because it certainly seemed like him and guys that are getting, because Obafemi's been having these vignettes played too, so maybe they were like, we don't know yet, so we're just gonna have him stand around in a cool coat. Which, look, yesterday you and I said, we were like, where's Santos Escobar? And we both agreed that if someone was paying me to stay home, that's fantastic. And if he had plans that got canceled because of the Dominic Mysterio injury, perhaps, like, if you're just paying me to sit home and watch I Said Shit's Creek reruns, like, I'm taking that deal, main roster minimum, any day of the week. If you're gonna pay me to stand around in a cool coat, I'm also taking that deal. But it's not very satisfying creative. But get paid, Tony D. But today I was like, oh, he's been just meandering the same way that Dark State kind of just showed up when they first arrived, and he needs a new gang because his last one fell apart. Like, maybe that's the story we're telling.
Robert Stone is in a tuxedo.
You got this fancy for these awards, Alex.
This is the Oscars. Like, so everything is pre-recorded. Like, it's so like no one's coming up and reading nominees. Like, if they had done that, Robert Stone and Ava presenting every award, and here are the nominees. I should not have sang as Booker T. That is not a good. No, seriously.
Oh, no. He's done so much damage tonight already.
Okay. Sorry. I need a lozenge. Wow.
No, go for it.
He was like in a tuxedo. Ava was in her regular black dress type thing, which might have been fancier than her normal black dresses. I don't know. Anyway, she's like, hey, make sure the rest of these awards go off without a hitch, okay? We really need this award show to go well. They've already done
these
2
pre-tape
awards.
Shows.
They've already done 2 awards. There are 2 awards left. I need to make sure the rest of these 2 awards go okay. She goes into her door, and there's Blake Monroe. she gives Blake Monroe a pep talk. Hey, Blake, I know you're sad about losing your title, but if you want to get your title back, you just have to show up as the Glamour. I know you can do it. Are you her mom? What is?
Thank you. I was like, don't they hate each other online, like famously? Why are they besties here? Why is it
don't
sitcom
know.
mother?
Blake wants a different. She also says, please, can I have a different referee for the match next week? And Ava says, I mean, I can't guarantee that. Who can? As the general manager of the show, do you not have some pull as to which referee referees which match? I'm sorry, the bylaws etched in stone tablets that sit above the hearth in the NXT church say that the referees assigned to matches must be drawn at random on the third Sunday of the morrow. Like, why are we doing just pick a different referee? Honestly, though, it should be a different referee just to make sure there's no bias, because it was a really weird finish.
Now that you said that, I really wish she broke out a scroll with the NXT bylaws, because I want to know what the rest of the bylaws are regarding the parking lot, regarding backstage. I have so many questions about the bylaws. But this whole segment was just weird. I will say, like, one thing that Blake Monroe does very well, in an arsenal of things that she does very well, is like when she plays unhinged downtrodden, like she's very good at that mood. She had that a lot in the storyline with Toni Storm in AEW, but like the one good thing to come out of this very weird finish, this whole thing, she's very good at playing that emotion and that aspect of it. Like, Ava can't stand Blake. So this maternal, I expected like sitcom Danny Tanner music to play in the back. That was so weird. It just felt very out of place. It didn't feel like a GM's job, first of all, at all. And I was like, no, these two they don't like each other. That's been well established.
Yeah. There's they asked a lot of people who work for TNA whether or not they thought their coworker, for the moment, Leon Slater, was going to win the match next week, and they all said yes. Go figure.
I'm shocked.
Like, they asked Ariana Venti and Stax who they thought was going to win.
They asked so many people. This was way too long.
Cardona, Elijah, Mike Santana, Mara Sade, Ariana Venti and Stax, who agree it should be Oba so that Leon doesn't hold gold the way that whatever. And then Hank and Tank doing a weird bit where one of them says Leon and the other one says Oba. They both make their arguments and then they both change their minds. Wop wop wobbity wah. If they all said Oba, which is the natural thing to say here, by the way. If they all said Oba, I love Leon, but I just don't think he can do it. Then I would say Leon's,
everything we know.
Then I would say Leon's definitely winning next week.
Sure.
But the fact that almost all of them said Leon makes me think that they want us to think, wow, he's really got a shot, and then they're going to book him to not win. So, I mean, it'd be a hell of a thing to, like, what a recruiting pitch. You're contracted to TNA. Here's the world title on NXT. That's a hell of a recruiting pitch. If he wasn't, I would think it would be more likely for them to do it. But also, I keep thinking about how long vignettes run for people on the main roster before they finally show up.
I.e.
Like,
Veer.
You could easily just keep running these vignettes for Obafemi for months and months and months while he's still the champion before he loses. So
Well,
I don't
and
know.
they're running them on SmackDown and Raw, so that makes you think there's going to be a war over him. And for that talent, let me tell you, there should be. Like,
Yeah,
he should be a prized get. I don't. I understand TNA and NXT have a good relationship. I don't think WWE is the type of company, and I don't think they should be, to put their world title on a talent that's not contracted to them. Like, I just don't think that's a move that they make, even as obvious as the handwriting on the wall seems to be that he will eventually be there. I think, don't quote me on this because I don't follow TNA very closely, but I think his contract up is like middle of next year. Like, I don't think it's even, it's not like a spending. Now, they bought Joe Hendry out, I think, so they could certainly probably just buy him out. But I feel like that would also be out of place with how many guys in NXT they've been trying to like push along towards things and the Tony D angle and all this. So I've decided the Tony D angle is still alive because I want it in my heart. But I think it's going to be a really, really, really cool match that Leon Slater loses.
Yeah. The men's speed tournament finals. Lexis King versus Tavion Heights.
It's ruled. This is Alex's favorite Lexis King match ever.
It's the best one I've ever seen. Lexis King turns around and gets belly to bellied by Tavion Heights and loses in 8 seconds. Bravo.
I don't know why, but after the SmackDown post show, Cresta was like, I have so many questions about Lexis King. And she's just like
she watches TNA. Okay, I get it.
Yes, and not NXT. And she's just like so fascinated because she's like, what is he? Like, she's not like, oh, I enjoy his work, and she's not like, I hate his work. She's like, I just don't understand what's happening here. We had some fun. I was like, no, Cresta, like, you have to understand he has a slidey throat and stuff. We did a full breakdown of Lexis King after the SmackDown post show. But anyway, this was honestly, I actually liked it, not just because like yuckity yuck, like short Lexis King match, blah blah blah. Like Tavion needed something super dominant, I feel like, because he had some momentum with the feud with Ethan, and then that died off, and he's been aimless since, and he wasn't in the Iron Survivor match. So like,
I feel like he's probably gonna lose to Jasper Troy, Jacob Marley next week in 4.5 minutes. So,
which honestly, like, they probably should have timed with a Christmas Carol.
Yeah, they should have.
So it's losing its aura.
Yeah, I mean, we're far past that now. You know, Boxing Day is in the rearview mirror. We are not, you know.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you how you can keep your aura. With Aura Frames. Aura Frames, the best digital picture frame in the biz, is still a great gift, even after the Christmas seasons, for birthdays, for anniversaries, fantasy football punishments. If you so dine, we have somebody that messaged us to tell us that's what they're doing for a fantasy football punishment, because they can send the fantasy football loser one of these frames, and it comes preloaded with embarrassing pictures and videos, and it comes in a nice little gift box to this fantasy football loser as well. So a beautiful sentimental gift to ship sincerely to whoever you want, or sarcastically to whoever you want. And for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com and get $35 off the best-selling Carver mats framed, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using the promo code FIGHTFUL at checkout. That's auraframes.com. Promo code fight deal. Promo code FIGHTFUL. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply. I'm great at live reads. Like, what's the promo code? Fight deal. Nailed it. Oh no, they're never gonna sponsor us again. But they have. I guess that's it. This is the last Aura Frames read of the month because they sponsored every show here on Fightful, including in the weeds, which is like so incredible because listen, it's Jeremy and Joel. So
yeah.
And SP3, like, so they need all the help they can get over there. But sincerely, why can't I say words?
Sincerely.
I kind of like it.
That's seriously sincere.
Yeah.
Like, that's really good.
I'm going to keep that.
Sincerely absolutely could take off as like the catchphrase for a character on a sitcom.
It could.
No, sincerely.
Like, I'm watching Schitt's Creek. Alexis Rose totally says sincerely.
For sure.
Alexis. Yeah. Yeah. I meant to say sincerely, it's a great gift, but it's also sincerely a great gift because it's very sentimental and sincere. So if you want to send one to your loved ones, use the code FIGHTFUL at checkout because you save a good chunk of money with the old $35. And this is your last shot to do it. So leave a thumbs up sincerely on this video. Sincerely, please subscribe to Fightful Select. Like, sincerely, guys, from the bottom of our hearts.
But so sincerely. There's another award. It's for Match of the Year. The winner
was
is
Lexis King and Tavion Heights. They
the nominees are Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan, the good one from this year, not the bad one from last year. Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page, which is disqualified because of random ghost of Jasper Troy in the back. That ruined that whole momentum of that match.
Though, but that was very funny.
The match was so good, but that was bad. Obafemi versus Javon Evans at Heat Wave, which is another reason why they should have gone through with this. Because that match was so good, but he couldn't quite get it done. And then the match that he just lost to Oba, he basically had him beat. And so
they owe us the payoff.
They owe us that payoff, man.
They sincerely owe us that payoff.
They sincerely do. The women's Iron Survivor match, which was fine. Jacy, Jayne, and Lola Vice, which I don't remember any bit of except for Lainey Reed dressed as Solo Sikoa coming out to hit a knee on she was wearing a black hoodie. I
didn't even know she was part of the bloodline before that though. So that was like a pretty memorable moment.
She doesn't look Samoan at all. She must be like a 1/16 Samoan.
Yeah, we're
he hits a knee on Lola Vice to cost her. I don't remember that match at all. The match I do remember is the match that should have won this whole thing, which is Jordan Grace versus Julia. That was the best NXT match of the year. That thing was awesome. But the one that won was a very, very good match. Oba versus Javon versus Trick Williams and Stand and Deliver last year. Probably the best men's match of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
This past year. But man, you not even nominating Julia versus Jordan Grace that's a travesty.
I think they weren't going to nominate anybody that wasn't still around NXT for the sake of kayfabe awards.
I guess you're probably right.
But maybe Julia should be around so that she had something good to do.
Well, she could have something better than this, whatever this is.
Not great.
Sincerely. Swipe Right brings Jackson Drake with them to the ring versus OTM. It's his competitive match, but it's funny how when Swipe Right came up to face the Blurry Boys last year in that one match and proved to us that they were far better than their terrible names suggested that they were. They were presented as these guys are the hot thing from Evolve. They're really, really good. They might even be better than Fraxium. And the match was laid out in that fashion. Now they're mouthy heels who bit off more than they could chew by running afoul of monster heels. And they are being treated as Ms. Juniors. And it's interesting how they've just decided to frame them as a different type of team, because the swipe right we watched last year would have beaten the hell out of, would have easily outfoxed, outmaneuvered, used their speed and their agility and their really great tag team wrestling to outwit OTM and beaten them in 6 minutes. This version of swipe right as presented puts up a good fight, but ends up getting beaten by the much bigger dudes. And it's just interesting how you book the same tag team in an entirely different way in 2 matches 1 year apart from each other.
If Ethaniel is staying around for a while, obviously I mean Ethaniel Page.
Mm-hmm.
Like them losing their way into being mentored by him properly, maybe after he loses the North American title, so he can show these kids the way around. I just genuinely think would be so valuable for them as a transition to the NXT roster. Like I feel like there's few people that have adapted to this weird little world of NXT as well as he has, meaning like he's done well with everything they've given him, even the stuff that has not been good. So I feel like that's just a good call because they're a really good tag team. I don't want to say I don't know who they are because I get who they are as characters, but they could use a leader. Like they could use someone like Ethan Page at the front. I think to give them, to cement them a little bit more. And I also think the NXT tag division could really use them around full time. So that could be a really fun grouping.
Yeah. Cyclo saying they should put them with Blake full time, with Blake Monroe as her little boy toys. I honestly don't hate the idea of that. Of her basically,
I don't know if Shawn Michaels believes in boy toys. Because he specifically was like, I'm not your boy toy when the subject was broached with him. He's just a sexy boy. He's not saying boy toys don't exist. He's just saying, I'm not the boy toy. These guys could be boy toys, perhaps. Yeah, but he does it with such disdain. You know what I mean?
Perhaps,
I feel like
perhaps he does have an anti-boy toy stance, but then again, he might have evolved since 1993. We don't know.
It's true. We hope so.
He's no longer Ricky Smokes. He's now Ricky Vapes. We did that last week. So I like the idea, kind of like her.
That's a fun thing.
Leading them around on a metaphorical leash and telling them to do stuff for her. They obviously can't like get physical with the people that she's facing because NXT wouldn't do that yet, but they could grab a foot if she gets near the ropes. You know what I mean?
I actually really like that idea. I think that could be fun, and she would be so much fun if she's like, this is how I countered Jordan Grace being in Thea Hale's corner, is I brought these two little stooges is a fun thing to do because Jordan Grace could also stare them down. You know what I mean? Like there's some fun visuals there, even if they don't have like a ton of physicality. But they would be great in that role, and I feel like Blake Monroe would crush an angle like that.
Yeah.
We got a monster.
I know. I'm gonna hit that as soon as I talk about this.
Okay. I
really love out the Mud's finisher.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Like just pick a dude up with his legs way out here so that the other guy could get underneath him and do this crazy Alabama slam, like front power slam thing. Really cool. Nobody getting up from that. And Ryan Chiquin says OTM definitely improved, especially Lucian. Man, Lucian immediately stood out as the guy that I was like, watch that dude. That guy's going to be the guy. Years ago when OTM first debuted. I think Bronco Nima's got an interesting look, but Lucian's the worker.
Yeah.
You can tell the way that guy moves, he's a worker. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with them, but I thought they were impressive here, but it doesn't make sense to me that you would book them to lose to Hank and Tank and then win this match. If they had won both in a row, then all of a sudden, like, okay, well, now we're talking. But coming off a loss to then win this, also in the middle of the match, before they had won, Vic Joseph was like, wow, the momentum streak that the OTM is on right now. They look unbeatable. They just lost. Like, when your commentator doesn't know
10 minutes ago. Yeah.
Come on, man. Anyway, we're done with talking about this one.
With goofballs. Like
they did. Yeah, they did lose to goofballs.
They have come a long way, and it's fun to see because you do something cool was there. It's just sometimes it takes NXT a minute to find the coolness, as happens from time to time at every wrestling promotion. Mm-hmm. But they just, it seems like, have put in the work, and they've gotten a lot better, and they're different than anybody else in the tag division right now too, which is nice. Like that's a refreshing presence to have, and an important component to a tag division, I would argue. So having these two badass guys, I think, is cool. And that finisher is awesome. And I think it'll do a lot for them because it's very cool and very intimidating. Like that's the kind of finisher you're like, oh yeah, that guy that actually finishes people. Like those guys, they're done when that gets hit. So I like it when finishers actually feel like a proper punctuation mark on a match.
Everett Smith with a ridiculously generous super chat says, thank you to my SGS and Fightful family for all the love and support this year. Losing my mom, you were there for me, making my Tuesdays a place of healing, laughs, and puppets. So happy I found this home. I can't wait for more hijinks and silliness in 2026. Be blessed, everyone. Everett, we're so sorry for the loss of your mother. But so glad that we could be a place where you could a refuge for you from that grief, to just put it behind you and laugh for a couple of hours on a Tuesday about a wrestling show you likely don't watch.
And when we say we with that stuff too, we mean like the most collective we, because this group of people is so incredible about that. My only thing is, like, I can't wait for more hijinks in 2026 and silliness. Like, I don't know what would make you believe that we do silliness or hijinks around here. Like, I'm not sure what gave you the impression that we're just some goofy show with like a bunch of bits and stuff. Like, I don't even know why you would think that. We're super serious here. Super sincerely. We are serious. Serious show. Wrestling is serious. That was aggressive.
Hello, Department of Seriousness. We would like to apply to be the directors of your wonderful department. Okay. All right. We'll fill out our resumes and have them over to you in the morning. Thank you for your consideration.
That better be 6 figures if we're going to be the directors of seriousness, because we earned it around these parts. That was definitely giving the Muppets backstage gag, when it would be like, hello, backstage. Who is it? The fire department, and the phone would start smoking. I remember one where all the coins fell out and he just goes, Las Vegas.
Oh, Alpha, you got to go back to the beginning. I got a call from Shawn Michaels. He apologized.
Yeah.
For everything. It was great. It was really nice.
He still has me blocked on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted for Christmas, was to be unblocked by Higgins.
Somebody said that too. Hold on. What somebody did a good joke. Who says what does it say? Jim Pringle says, even phony HBK blocked me. That HBK, he's such a phony.
Phone? I just want to be unblocked. But until he unblocks me, he's now Hickin' butt instead of Hickin' bottom. How about that?
Nice. There you go. That's good.
That's how I fight back.
Yeah. Thea Hale and Jordan Grace from the locker room. Hey, yeah, I guess what I'm seeing for you every week is legit. I'm trying to be more positive. Yeah, you're being more positive. I'm trying to be more on cocaine. We're both doing so great with our resolutions.
I learned something about you just now.
Thea Hale, I really want you to be in my corner for my match against Blake Monroe next week. And I'm like, this can only lead to bad things. And Jordan's like, I really don't want to. Oh, please. Okay, fine. And then like, I don't like being hugged, and Thea Hale's just like one hug, and it's a really awkward, like, put my face on your boobs hug. Even though I'm pretty sure Thea Hale and
extremely comforting about that.
I understand, but I'm pretty sure they're the same height, and so like Thea Hale has to like really bend down to do it.
This felt like well, first of all, I'm alarmed at how good you are at impressions of being on cocaine. We're gonna have to talk. But I know this feels like they're trying to, and I understand why. Like, this was obviously not the program that they were intending. Feels very Zarya Solruka to an extreme with me, of like the big strong Haas and the silly little friend. Like, they have such different energies, yada yada. But that's okay. Like, this is they're trying to bail themselves out of this. I don't know how this is gonna go for the feud though. But I understand they were trying to patchwork a very unexpected thing across taped episodes. That is tricky.
The last award of the night is Female of the Year. Jordan Grace not nominated.
Well,
which
she hasn't
just
really won.
But here's the thing. Like, Solruka is the winner, and unless you're going to give the award to Jacy Jayne, Solruka is the only option because of how poorly they have managed both Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. There's no argument to me for, at this point in the calendar year of 2025, for Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe, formerly Mariah May, to not have been the only two options for the winner of this award. They're both that good. Only you standing in the way of them with bad booking can make one of them not win the award and the other one not be nominated for the award because of what you did with your booking of these two amazing women. Also nominated, Kalani Jordan, who had a fine year, and Tatum Paxley, who I will remind you had one singles victory in the entirety of 2025. It happened to be the one that she won a title in, but she promptly lost that again. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me how we determine who's up for these awards. Jordan Grace certainly had a better winning percentage this year than Tatum Paxley did. So I don't know what we're doing here with all of this stuff.
Yeah, this was kind of just a weird year in rewind. But that's hickin' butt for you. What can I say? As long as I'm blocked, that's hickin' butt.
That's hickin' butt. That's hickin' butt. Know what? Hickin' butt.
Guess what? Hickin' butt. Yep.
Guess what? Hickin' butt. Guess why?
Oh,
Hickin' thigh.
there it is. It's fun because it's literally one letter away from chicken, which I only realized just now. For explicit clarity, I don't take being blocked on Twitter seriously. So in case a bunch of weirdos are going to be like, but Sean, I don't care. it feels like the thing that we've been saying all year is like the utilization of both of these gals needs to be much better. And certainly Jordynne Grace. Like Jordynne Grace shouldn't be nominated because she should be on the main roster 6 months ago.
Sure, that's fine too. But if you're gonna keep her in NXT this long, there's no excuse for where she's at. There's no excuse for where she's at whatsoever. I've seen a lot of people saying that Stephanie should have been nominated for it. I'm like, she had her last match on this show in May.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like she's a main roster world champion. Like if you look at her year from a full scope, she's on the main. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so Run, she was a double winner of these awards. Her and Zarya won the tag team of the year, and she won this. And I don't know exactly what we're doing going forward with any of that. So, okay, so our main event is Javon Evans and Ricky Saints. I'm glad this was taped because I knew ahead of time that they were doing the thing that they were doing. Like, even with all this, Javon Evans is a free agent. He's going to meet with Adam Pearce, and AJ Styles wants to face him and Leon Slater at the earliest possible convenience, and all of that stuff. Even with him showing up, having matches with part of the Americano family, and having a match on SmackDown and all this kind of stuff. It just felt a lot like that. We're introducing the main roster audience to a guy we think is going to be very important during the coming year. So we want them to hear about him winning the title, the world title in NXT, and go, oh, that's that guy I've seen on Mondays and Fridays. I like him quite a bit, as opposed to not knowing who the hell people are in NXT. They want to try and create that crossover audience, which is honestly a thing you should be doing.
Sure.
If this was live, I would have been shocked and furious that Javon Evans lost to Ricky Saints, unless the plan was to immediately do another match between these two guys, because the plan should only be for Javon Evans to beat Obafemi at Stand and Deliver. This match was fine. There was a drop kick to the knee of Javon Evans early on where he had to sell for a while until he decided not to sell it anymore so he could do all of his bouncy stuff at the end of the match. This featured one of the dumbest ref bumps I've ever seen.
Back in the same week, we got a horrendous one in AEW. Not a bump.
What a bump! Just
a terrible one here. Yeah,
one that was I think supposed to be like not a bump. Like it was a bump, but it wasn't supposed to be a ref unconscious, because you can have ref bumps that allow them to like be out of position and miss a thing, as opposed to ref unconsciouses, which is what this was supposed to be. The thing about Javon is that every time he hits a move on a guy and then goes up to the top rope for the big jumpy cutter, he always looks behind him to make sure that his opponent is standing there waiting to be big jumpy cutted. And this time he didn't. He was starting the big jumpy cutter while Ricky Saints was still lying on the ground. That is not a thing that Javon Evans has ever done. Watch his matches. When he does this move, he always waits for them to be up on their feet before he starts the move to make sure the guy's going to be in position. He didn't this time. And if you were telling me that Ricky Saints was there in position, and he looked back and saw him, and then looked into the turnbuckle and then started doing it, and while he was jumping up, Ricky grabbed the ref and pulled him to where he was, fine. But that ain't what happened.
No.
Ricky was lying down, and then the referee walked over to Ricky Saints and stood there and looked up and got big jumpy cutted, while Ricky was just nearby. And so that happened, and then he kicked Javon in the balls, and then he hit the Rochambeau on him, and then the second ref came down, and apparently the second ref missed the balls kick, and so he called 1, 2, 3, Ricky wins. And now Javon, without finishing out his years-long arc in NXT, goes to the main roster where they have no idea what to do with him.
So it appears, we will say.
So it appears as yet. He will probably do a crazy thing during the Royal Rumble.
He'll do a Kofi spot.
He will do a Kofi spot during the Royal Rumble. He might end up in like the final 5 because they really like this kid. He's not winning it. He might wind up, if they're calling him up and they're actually doing real stuff with him on the main roster, put him in your multi-man intercontinental or US championship match.
Please
Put him in that thing. He'd be great in that. Good. He's the kind of kid who you need to have a real fun arc for. And if you don't, then taking him out of one of the best arcs of the last 5 years in NXT to put him on the main roster for not anything close to that seems to me to be a giant misstep.
Do you think, I wish they were this clever, but I don't think they're going to be. Do you think there's any shot in hell? And again, they've never done this, so I have no reason to believe this. They finished this arc on the main roster. Like, could Javon beat Oba? They never do this, but it would be so cool.
You'd have to do it in 2027 at some point. Because they're going to take some time to make Oba the guy who's the world champion on the main roster. They shouldn't, by the way. They shouldn't. What if somehow, miracle of miracles, Leon Slater beats Obafemi next Tuesday, Obafemi should debut on the main roster in the Royal Rumble, eliminate 15 guys, and win it. He's the type of guy who makes an impact like that as soon as he gets there. You know what I mean? And then have him beat Cody. Just friggin', we've already seen that they had a stalemate. That's already a really cool part of the story.
I would go this way. I would have Drew beat Cody and Oba beat.
Okay,
Drew.
Fine. I just don't know when you're actually going to are we saying that Drew's going to beat Cody in the 3 stages of hell match? Are we saying that? I'm saying okay. I would like to see it.
I would too, because I'm sick of Drew losing so much.
I have no confidence in this company to pull that trigger.
Nor should you. But that would be, to me, the coolest thing that they could do.
Yeah. They should do it. They should do it.
Cody and Oba was great at John Cena's main event. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but Drew and Oba for the title at Mania, because if they are, for whatever fucking reason, gonna run back Cody and Roman, that does not need the title.
Yeah. They've been doing this. It feels like somebody took the note of everybody is so old who's the champion on our main roster.
Yes, it does.
And they're having so many of their younger people say the line, "I'm not the future, I'm the now." It's just a thing that gets worked into almost every young person promo. If it was a theme, 2026 is the year that we get younger. At least for a bit, to address the complaint and tie into the zeitgeist and work against it, proving you guys wrong. They like to do that kind of stuff. And if Braun Breaker and Obafemi are the 2 world champions coming out of WrestleMania, which one are we on? 42? Whatever
42.
It is. This one.
Yeah.
That's a really cool way of saying, hey, we get it. We actually didn't think about it before, but yeah, you're right. And we're gonna do this. And I have no doubt that by the end of 2026, both of those guys will have lost to a guy who's 42 years old. But in the moment, that's a really cool thing.
Give me a signal. Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that could be,
and
that would be
the other thing
special.
is having the young guys hold those titles and then an older guy chasing is interesting. Like you can you absolutely have Cody try and get the title back from Oba is really fun. Like I would love to see Roman Reigns coming after.
Oh my God.
Like either one of those guys.
Fun.
Like the Braun Breaker thing is
Gunther
fun. But like
going after Oba would be so fun.
Gunther going after Oba is really is an interesting thing because Gunther is getting so much heat. I don't know how you position a guy like Obafemi on the main roster the way you've been having him walk the tightrope of a dude everybody loves to watch beat people up. You know what I mean? Like that's they don't do that on the main roster. They usually just go, boo this guy, cheer this guy, done. Yeah. Like, and so I don't know what you do with that, but whoever's facing Gunther for the rest of Gunther's career is getting cheered. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well, he tapped out John Cena like a little bee. I don't know if you heard. Yeah. Oh, God. For those of you listening in audio form, Alex is calling Triple H on a very real phone.
Hello, Paul. Hello. Yeah. How's it going? Good? Okay, so I have this fantastic idea for WrestleMania. Yeah. It's so Oba, you know Oba, right? He's great. Oba and Braun, not Strowman. No, the other one. No, not Reed. His name is Bronson. It's Breaker. Yes, with 2 Ks. Yes. So Braun Breaker and Obafemi win the world titles at WrestleMania. Uh-huh. No,
it's not what we do.
No, I'm not joking. No, you can stop laughing. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you later. Okay, Big P. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, Big P is so good. I didn't know you were on a first initial basis with him.
I guess so.
I gotta say,
Alpha Bill says this brings me so much happiness.
I gotta be honest.
You and me both, buddy.
Surprised that Paul picks up your calls in general, much less at 12:15 a.m. Eastern. But I thought you would have been on the blocked list from good old Paul Levesque.
Oh no, he and I go way back.
Well, that back. Much I know.
Oh, we have Lord.
Fun. We have fun here.
We have fun. Let's read all of the things people have sent.
Let's read all the things.
Okay, let's go. Let's see here. Oh, yes, this was, of course. Hi, I'm looking for a crotch. First name Mike.
Has anybody seen my crotch?
Everybody's seen my crotch. Hello, is Mrs. Hug and Kiss there? First name Amanda. Like that one's one I like because the way he says it. He says, "Hello, I'm looking for Amanda Hug and Kiss." Oh, why can't I find Amanda Hug and Kiss? Great.
I of course remember that classic episode.
Of course you do. Matt Rakiel says, "Took me 81 minutes to finish tonight's NXT. I love those taped episodes. Sending the biggest hug to Kate because she asked." Thanks to SGS for getting me through a rough 2025. A lot of people have had a rough 2025. A lot of people for a lot of reasons. Yeah, and we're so honored to be the thing that helps you get through that.
We love you.
Greg Cherry Band says the fog has attacked both of your cameras. Our cameras are both getting on snowmobiles and going for 100-mile rides right after the show.
Yes, they are. That is a fact of life.
Tom LaValle says, cheers to Orion Ben for starting the SGS puppets.
Yes, sincerely, thank you. I don't know what I would do without my little Kate.
Ricardo says, happy birthday, my brother from another mother, Tim.
Oh,
it is now Tim's birthday, by the
Happy
way.
birthday, Tim! And
We forgot to
someone
do a
else-
countdown
Meet
and sing.
Normus's birthday is this weekend too, I think. Did I make that up?
There, yeah, it is. It is.
Happy
Normus
birthday,
says,
SGS!
"Happy birthday, Tim! My birthday is Saturday. Acknowledge meat. We always acknowledge meat."
Throwing
And
up the
Ricardo
one.
says, "Happy birthday to our tribal beef."
We love you.
Then Matthew Hooks says, "Moment of the SGS year is how we rally for each other. For me, I've had moments on the verge of tears, and I know there are people that listen and care. We love you, man."
Yes, we do. We love you so much.
Luciana Photo says, "Happy birthday, Tim and meat."
I love us.
All right, so we have fun puns of some kind. Silver Apocalypse says, "A birthday candle K. Orton." Not Randall K. Orton. Candle Keith. Old Candle Keith Orton. Alba Fireworks. Tommaso Champagne. Ball drop toe hold. Man, if you're...
Ooh.
Do not drop your toe
That sounds
on
bad.
a ball. Happy Corbin New Year's, Eva Maria. There we go. Wishing the entire SGS a happy new year from Chris Pereira. Celebrate bigly and safely, and hoping those so inclined get their devil's kiss. At
Heyo!
Rafael Garcia. My favorite memory this year being Lou Booton and the very accurate reporting of a certain blonde champion who goes, "Whoa!" behind the paywall. Yes, no one else had the story.
I forgot about that. I feel like I can never
story.
talk about that again.
No one else had the story. Only us behind the paywall.
Right.
C. Delgado said New Year's Balls Mahoney and Zach Centennial Jr.
Happy New Year, dickhead.
Silver Apocalypse says Claudio Langzine and birthday Matt Cardona.
That's very funny. I like Claudio Langzine.
Birthday Cardona. C. Delgado says Times Squared Circle and Malachi Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas always do perform.
I feel like they do one performance a year, and it's that.
and it's New Year's Eve.
They should do New Year's Evil.
They should.
They just have a random performance.
Alpha Bill says, "Hugs and kisses to all my friends. May the new year be filled with lots of love and wonderful moments from your resident Greek-Australian Kyle Fletcher stunt double, Alpha Bill."
We love you, Alpha Bill. Thank you so much. And thank you.
And we have a new bit. We have a new bit thanks to you, where I call Triple H and tell him all of my great booking ideas.
I love this.
Let's see here. Greg Cherrybrand says, "It's boss time. It's boss time, Square. All Jimmy Wang Yang Zine, Tony Confetti, extravagant Zack Sabre Jr.,
Very
Techno Toast 2000, Oh Bubbly Femi, Sham Payne Bigelow, Shane McMidnight Kiss. Happy New Year, Yins. We love you, Greg. Thank you." And then this is one. Tim has sent one in from Jord, who's over on the Discord all the time. It says, "From Jord, Happy New Year, Alex, Kate, and the SGS. I discovered this awesome group later than most, but it has been invaluable getting me through tough times. I don't know what I would do without all of you. Jordan is more of a fan of the main roster stuff in WWE than most on the Discord. So he takes a lot of playful abuse, but he's always very cool with it.
Sometimes I feel like I should remember to sign into the Discord more than once every 6 months.
Yeah, you should. It'll be a lot. It's a lot of fun over there.
There's so many platforms, and I'm so tired.
You can get rid of a lot of them and come over to the Discord. That's what I've done.
Everybody's contacting me all the time on so many different ways.
Oh, look at! Oh no, you're so popular.
Everyone's so popular.
Everyone's contacting me on all of these different platforms.
It's a
My
tough
life is so hard. I'm so in demand.
Okay, 90% of how I get contacted is spam texts, but still, it's overwhelming to see that many notifications.
Alan Jeanette says, "Be super serial about live reads." Kate, sincerely. Happy holidays, Sour Graps Nation, Alex, Kate, and Luis.
I'm super serial.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. James says, if Triple H corrected Alex pronunciation to Breaker. Yeah, no, the one with 2Ks. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Cito Gatto says, Alex, we don't always agree, but damn, can you entertain? Love you too, Kate, and love to the SGS, except Jord. LOL.
No, are you guys Scott Malkinsoning Jord? No Scott Malkinsoning Jord.
He doesn't even have diabetes that I know of. Favorite nicknames of 2025? I miss Double Vest. Whatever happened to that guy? He had to go find another human skull to let on fire on his vest, and he got nabbed for grave robbing. So he's doing like 6 months, I think.
What was the one that we just came up with like a week ago? That was so funny today.
I don't know.
Crap. We said it earlier in the show, and it's a really good
one.
We
did? About whom?
I don't remember. This is why I'm so mad it's eluded.
Well, if you tell me the person we were nicknaming, I could probably tell you what the nickname was.
Well, if I could tell you the person who we nicknamed, I could probably tell you what the nickname was.
Did anybody else get it?
I said it like an hour and a half ago.
I don't remember what it was.
Was it? No, was it Kendall Gray? No, it wasn't Kendall Gray. What was it? I don't know.
And Tom Valley says SGS Discord is my favorite social media.
Sincerely. Oh, that sincerely means a lot. Ponytail mustache is way up there.
Ponytail mustache is way. We don't get to see enough ponytail mustache and his friend Leafy Green.
You know what the best part of that one is? It's just his hair and his facial hair. That's his whole nickname. Ricky Vapes. That's what it was.
Ricky Vapes. Yes, Ricky Vapes. Not Ricky Smokes, but he's Ricky Vapes.
Thank you for remembering that. That would have driven me nuts.
Of course. Okay. All right. We got some jukeboxes. I like this is okay. So yes. Can the Linda sing New York, or a puppet or two? Linda can. I know what you want. I know you want Linda. Okay. So here. New York. New York. I spelled it with a U. Like I'm Canadian or something. Hold on. Lyrics. Why can I not type today? Hold on. Here we go. New York lyrics. Start spreading the. Hold on. I gotta start. I gotta start out with the instrumental. Do 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 do. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes, they're longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I wanna wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm queen of the hill, top of the heap. My little town blues, they've drifted away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it. in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it. Boom, boom. Anywhere, it's up to you. New York. New York.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I had her doing rocket kicks,
I know.
and her shoe almost flew off.
I'm singing New York, New York as an old lady from Queens
Of course.
to a puppet.
Yeah. Any other questions?
It's the life my parents always wanted for me.
What they've always dreamed of. She was doing her high kicks too, but
yeah, very good. Rafael Garcia wants the Underused Voices Union, led by Danhausen, sings "You Ought to Know" by Alanis. The Underused Voices Union is a fantastic name for a band.
yeah.
Trying to think of ones that are underused.
Is that just a Danhausen joke
is
about how
certainly
he's
one of
not
them.
used? Yeah. I have a question.
I don't know.
Because You Ought to Know isn't.
I mean, it's led by Danhausen. It's led by Danhausen. So, I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both. An older version of me, is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater? Does she speak eloquently, and would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. Because of the love that you gave, what we made, wasn't able to make it for you to be open wide. And no, in every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me, you hold me, and until you died, but you're still alive. Yeah, I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to remind me, to deny me of the cause that I paid, that you gave to me. Yeah, you ought to know. Oh, here we go. This is good. Here we go. Yeah, seem very well. Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Because the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it enough for you to be open wide, Monsoon. No. And every time you speak her name, does you know how you'd hold me until you died. But you're still alive, Monsoon.
That was beautiful. Alexi! Oh no, the fog got to the camera.
And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to remind me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You, I didn't know.
Hi, Alexi.
How are you doing? Good?
I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year almost.
Happy New Year. It's New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Anyway, so
how do you celebrate in Bulgaria?
First we all take turns drinking out of the New Year's Eve sock. It's a tradition in Bulgaria. In the poorer areas of Bulgaria, we take a sock and we fill it with the cleanest water we can find, and then we wring it out into our mouths and say Happy New Year.
That sounds like a shoey in Australia, but way worse somehow.
It's way worse. Those Australians could never. Looking at you, Alpha Bill. Those Australians could never.
Whoa,
You-
whoa, whoa,
you
whoa!
do
Let's
shoot,
not
you
shoot
do
on Alpha
stop.
Bill here.
We are not the same.
Well, that's true. Rocker's off as a rocker. I know. He's a little bit odd. You're a little dramatic. I know.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Here's the. It's me. I'm here. Hold on. There we go. Tom the Valley wanted Dusty to sing "Be a Man" by Macho Man. So "Be a Man" by Macho Man.
Have you seen him recently?
He's around here somewhere. What he loves to do now? He paints watercolors.
Love
It's
that
very
for him.
soothing. He paints watercolors of the sunsets on the west side of the cruise ship. Every night he sits and he paints beautiful sunset watercolors.
That sounds so soothing.
It is. It really has taken it. He is not nearly as high strung as he was in life.
Good for him. He deserves to relax.
He's very nice. Yes. Oh, hold on. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. This is a fantastic one. This is great. I would sing it to Hulk Hogan, but somehow he is nowhere to be found in wrestler heaven. Here we go. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulkster, whatever they call you, I'm coming after you, you coward. Hot diggity damn, Hulk. Afraid you set it off. Used to be hard, Hulk. Now you done turned soft. Doing telephone commercials. I seen you dancing in tights as a ballerina. I knew all along you had those tendencies because you've been running from macho like I got a disease. Dude, please, your pay-per-view event was a joke. You avoided Randy Savage because you know you'll get smoked. Come on. That phony fight, The Rock spanked you fast. But when I challenged Hogan to a real fight, he passed. I called him out, but the punk was scared to go. It was a charity event, but the Hulk didn't show. Hollywood Hulkster, you're at the end of your rope, and I'ma kick you in the butt and wash your mouth out with soap. Because like Rodney Dangerfield, he gets no respect. So come on, Hulk, let's wreck so I can put you in check. Be a man, Hulk. Come on, don't be scared. You're running from macho. That's what I heard. Be a man, Hulk. Come on, don't be a chump. I never thought Hulk would go out like a punk. Be a man, Hulk. Come on, don't be scared. You're running from macho. That's what I heard. Be a man's Hogan. Boy, you're a chump because Hulk Hogan is a real big punk.
Nailed it. 11 out of 10.
Thank you.
How was Christmas?
It was all right up here. Like this, it's obviously it's a very hard time for all of us because we all miss the ones who have not yet passed. It's kind of the opposite. It's the opposite of for all of you down who are still alive who miss the ones who have passed. We miss the ones who have not yet passed, and it is very difficult for us to not wish that they were also here with us, even though that would mean that they were dead. So we try not to do that because it's kind of morbid.
Well, there's nobody better equipped to deal with hard times than you. You know hard times.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I know all about the hard times.
I've heard you talk about it before.
Yes, no, that's mostly what I talk about is hard times.
Makes sense.
Yes. All right. Well, so
Happy New Year.
No, happy New Year to you as well. Speaking of Happy New Year, I was hoping that I might get a request to sing a certain song, but nobody did. So I'm gonna request it of myself.
That's good. This show doesn't go long enough.
No, it doesn't. Here we go. It doesn't. We want it to go longer.
The other gal just has no lungs. But no, keep going. This is great.
No,
this is great.
She doesn't need to sing nothing. She doesn't got no requests.
She's tired.
Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and tales of old hard times?
That was beautiful. I take back all the sassing that I just gave you. That was
See, I wanted to be able
gorgeous.
to make that joke, but then nobody requested the song, so I just wanted to do that anyway. So I gotta go. Maybe I'll go see Ralph Stout Macho Man and tell him I sang his Hogan song and see if he gets a kick out of it.
Oh, you should.
All right, well, I gotta
You
go.
should.
Bye.
Price out his paintings for me. Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Ryan Bent wants me to sing Happy Birthday, Lisa, to Tim, which is odd because his name is not Lisa, but I'll try.
We also had a couple of other chats
Yeah?
that have come in since perhaps Alex got kicked off of his own internet.
Oh, no.
If Alex were here,
yeah, well,
there's one from Alpha Bill that says Alex having a background in performance does all this scratch your artistic itch. How do you think Alex would answer?
I think perhaps he would say yes, because otherwise it would be really weird for him to do all of this if it didn't. So
I think particularly playing Linda scratches it the most, because he's just like loves playing Linda so much.
It's odd how much he likes to inhabit the persona of a very old lady from Queens, but
She's so fun though.
there's no judgment. So Linda will do this song next week.
Yeah,
because almost good. We'll do this. Here we go. This every time I say Lisa, pretend I am saying Tim. Here we go. Lisa, it's your birthday. God bless you this day. You gave me the gift of a little sister. That's odd because Tim and I aren't even related. And if we were, I'm pretty sure he'd be my brother. But I'm not even sure if he's older or younger than I am. I'll just go with it. You gave me the gift of a little sister, and I'm proud of you today. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. I wish you love and goodwill. I wish you peace and joy. I wish you better than your heart desires and your first kiss from a boy named Kyle Fletcher. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Thank you. And happy birthday, Tim.
And meet Normus this weekend.
That's right.
But today, happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Tim, it is your birthday. I know so much about The Simpsons.
I could tell. You seem very Simpson-esque. So, anyway, keep cool, gabagoos. We'll see you for New Year's Evil next week.
Toodles!